So let's get started. Let's kick off our day with our very first guest. And this has been a year of science. And not just, of course, because we've all been struggling with and battling against the COVID-19 pandemic, but also because this has been a year that has belonged to the women at the front line of that battle against the pandemic. And it's also been a year to celebrate girls in science. Time magazine called our very first guest this morning the Kid of the Year. Gitanjali Rao is just a teenager, but when she was 10, she was talking about something called carbon nanotube sensor technology. I had to look that up and mug that up 5 times before I could actually say it right. Let's go straight across to Gitanjali, who is in Colorado this morning. And hi, Gitanjali. And I have to say that, that was a mouthful for me. And I usually don't get tongue-tied, but I did. But you were 10 years old when you were talking about this stuff with your mother.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for providing me the opportunity to be part of the We the Women Global Town Hall. I'm greatly honored to be part of this event and thank the organizers and Ms. Dutt for giving me a fantastic opportunity.
What was that point in your life when you figured out that you're not like the other kids?
First of all, I honestly don't think I was different from anybody else. I was just rather fortunate enough to receive the support and resources with some amazing mentors and teachers who saw that curiosity in me and were ready to explore with me. Similarly, my brother, although his interests are different from mine, he seems to contribute to conversations in art, history, and culture. And several of my friends are talented in their own ways and make a difference every day through their own passions and their source of inspiration. I will add, though, that a lot of my work originated from my own personal empathy towards problems that I want to solve and problems that I see around me. And I use the resources available to me to try and find the best ways to achieve that. So I happen to be recognized, for which I'm grateful, but the work certainly does not stop here.
Now, I have to tell you, Gitanjali, I was one of those girls, and I'm not stereotypical in any other way, but in this way, I fully meet the stereotype. I used to fail science. I used to have stomach aches before every math exam. And it just delights me to see, young girls today calling out that stereotype. But despite kids like you, despite how well you've done, there is still a kind of huge, colossal bias against girls in science, against girls in STEM. Did you ever have to battle that prejudice? Did you ever have to face sort of meanness or barriers because you were a girl who was passionate about science?
I clearly remember multiple science and programming camps where I would be the only girl among several boys. And I honestly wanted to run away because I would alone during lunch would sit with the instructors and just didn't feel in place. But there was a time when we created a game during a game design camp and the boys would add boy characters and the boys in my team, I would ask them to add girl characters, but they didn't mind. They didn't just think of it because when we are young, we just like to see people like ourselves in the games we play. That honestly changed my perspective, that nobody's stopping women or girls in science. Somewhere we have presumed that because we haven't seen role models in the field, that field isn't for us. Today, there are several girls who are interested in STEM organizations, but not many of them are staying in scientific research and engineering. The purpose of science and technology is way more than just coding an app or writing or developing a device as a whole, or even more than research. It's about impact. It's about how we can impact the world in a positive way. Gender has no role in solving problems, and every single one of us should be a part of it.
In your interview to Angelina Jolie for Time magazine, you said that every time you looked at mainstream media, all of the scientists that you saw were white and male. And that's when you figured out that you didn't look like a scientist or you didn't look like the stereotypical representation of a scientist. Now, when you were exposed to all these mass media images of men, white men in white coats, did you feel intimidated? Did you feel, hey, I don't look like that. I'm different. I can't do this?
I grew up watching multiple science channels, TV shows, and reading a lot of comics and magazines. However, in each and every one of these, I saw that consistent theme of not seeing many women in the roles of scientists and researchers, which always made me wonder why. But on the other hand, I saw a lot of interior decorating shows and cooking shows that were usually filled with women. In my elementary school as well, I noticed that there were many clubs where it was called the American Girl Doll Club, cookie decorating, sewing clubs, princess clubs that were filled with girls, and all the science and coding clubs surprisingly were filled with boys. My unconscious mind almost created this bias somewhere that I cannot be interested in science and technology. When I was much younger, my mom would sometimes mentor a few students in scientific subjects, and she would make an attempt to include equal representation of boys and girls. We learn from each other, and that's when I realized that there is no boy or girl subjects. Anybody can be interested in science. Today, even if shows portray women as scientists, they're usually shown as nerdy characters with glasses and broken pencils, and they aren't interested in anything else other than academics. And I'm here to prove that that is not true. My friends and I have several interests and are equally interested in STEM. We need to showcase that science is cool too, so others can see that themselves firsthand.
Tell our viewers a little bit more about this app you've created called Kindly, an app against cyberbullying. Tell me how it works and tell me what inspired you to do it. Like, online bullying is a big thing here in India. A lot of women, a lot of girls get bullied online, get slurred online, get harassed online. But what made you do it? Have you had a personal experience of cyberbullying?
Kindly is an artificial intelligence-based service that can detect and prevent cyberbullying at an early stage. It uses the latest developments in machine learning and natural language understanding and processing in order to identify words or phrases that may be considered of the bullying sort. The service can be seamlessly invoked on a variety of different front ends. For example, I've created a standalone app and a browser extension just as examples. There are a variety of current solutions in the market. While they are effective, they're limited in their capabilities since many of them are based on a fixed bank of words, when in reality, vocabulary and terminology use is constantly evolving. Kindly's self-learning service adapts to this by learning about the latest emojis, memes, and slang that is used. Along with this, Kindly attempts to be non-punitive. So instead of going directly to a punishment stage, it allows users the option to rephrase or edit their message, just so that they're aware of their words.
So here's the thing, right, Gitanjali, you're obviously a genius. I mean, there are no two ways about that. But the thing about being a genius is that sometimes geniuses don't fit in. So do you feel lonely? Do you feel like a misfit sometimes when you compare yourself to other kids or how you interact with other kids? And do you do any regular young girl teenage things?
I like to honestly think of myself as someone who just enjoys what she's doing and just a kid doing what she loves. So like everybody, I have my own strengths or weaknesses. Also, not many see or even talk about the painful failures I go through practically every day in my journey. I have a whole section of failure in my latest book, A Young Innovator's Guide to STEM. But just a normal teenage activity is I honestly watch movies a lot, fence in my club, play piano, and recently just started my pilot training to get my pilot's license through a scholarship. And obviously talk a lot with some of my best friends.
So obviously people in India are looking at you with great pride and they want to know not just everything about you, but they also want to know about your parents and what role your family has played in bringing you to this point in life that you are at today.
My parents and grandparents are a huge part of my support system. My family is consisted of my parents and my younger brother, and they have allowed both of us to try whatever we would like to try. I've tried all possible sports. You name it, I've done it. I think from soccer to golf to tennis, and finally landed in fencing is something I will definitely stick with. Curiosity, exploration, learning, and debate of ideas is encouraged within our family. We learn from traveling and sharing experiences, and if we want to learn something new, we can easily get access to books in the library and other resources relating to that subject. Trying out a whole array of different experiences is likely one of the reasons why I feel I can innovate better and have more creative ideas and just finding a way to put out that creative energy that I have.
So I have to ask you this. Have you ever visited India? If you haven't, are you planning on a visit? And I'm asking you this because millions of Indian girls will be watching you and they'll be watching you in awe and inspiration. What do you know about this country that you have family ties to, ancestral links to? Tell us, just share. When I say India, what comes to you?
I visit India very often, and other than this year, I have been there at least once in 2 years or sometimes once every year. And I've spoken in schools and in TED forums in India. My message is for all girls, especially in India, is to follow your passion and use your talents to solve problems. I remember a time when a student from India wrote to me that they lived in a rural area and had an idea, but they just didn't know where to go next. And I asked them to put together a small video of their idea with tips on what to include, how to communicate their message, as well as how to reach out to local universities and organizations. If you have phone and internet access, there is no excuse to not reach out and seek help to learn things yourself. As much as you may deny it, anybody can reach out to researchers and start to get into the field of innovation in science and technology. But obviously that may be different for millions of girls who do not have access to basic internet access. And that is a completely different problem with global inequality in education. For those of us who have resources, we should find a way to reach out to the girls and provide them with basic necessities. Because each and every one of us have the right to be an innovator and make positive change in the world.
Gitanjali, finally, at such a young age, you've achieved everything that you wanted to and more. But like all of us carry like those little dreams that are our next big things for the future, right? So what is yours? What is your big passion project? What is that unfulfilled dream that keeps you up at night?
My biggest dream for the future is probably an education system where problem-based learning starts early and a global community of innovators is essentially developed. We're living in a society where we're seeing problems that have never existed before and are continuing to exist, and it needs all of us, boys and girls, to innovate. Innovation needs to be part of our curriculum in early education so that we can start early. We need to be ready for the challenges we haven't even seen yet and come together to alleviate the world's problems.
Fabulous, and we wish you all the best, and thank you for inspiring us. I think when they say the future is female, and you must have heard that phrase, not all of us knew that it would take a child to actually show us quite literally that the future is female. So keep inventing, keep innovating, keep stemming the bias. Lovely talking to you.